Welcome to the Hey Jimmy podcast. For years, these five fools have spent way too much time together debating the most idiotic notions. Now they are recording for your pleasure. Put on your thinking caps and strap in for some weird and wild talking points.
Jimmy!
Hey, Jimmy! Wow.
Oh, God.
Aggressive
That one
much?
came in good. Aggressive Jimmying. That sounded weird.
You're an aggressive Jimmy. I don't
It's
think
okay. The goal is to destroy everybody's ears all the time.
great success.
Only in
how,
the best ways.
how's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
Fantastic.
Freaking
Yeah.
fantastic.
Let's spin the wheels, see what we're gonna work on today.
Wheel is spinning.
Number 2.
Number 2 is which sci-fi desert planet
Not-
is the
not
shittiest?
dessert.
Desert planet is the shittiest. Sorry, I read that and I'm like, no, that's not right. I immediately know that this is not right because like
You still
I
went
didn't
with it?
because I only read up. I only
Please just
read
go ahead and
before
hit
that.
the
I read
wah
each.
wah
There you
wah
go.
sound for yourself. Yep. There you go. That was the proper thing you
so-
should have done in that moment.
All right, but like I got to that word and then I saw as I was saying it, I noticed it was wrong because there's no way it was a desert planet. So, but I had already started saying
There needs to be more desert planets.
there might be desert planets. Joke's on us. But which sci-fi desert planet is the shittiest? And Nick lost his microphone.
Do you have to pick just one? I mean, by definition, wouldn't they all just suck? Well, you can still have like oases and
I don't know. Maybe they have
Now
an
see,
amusement
I
parks
could
on-
take it if you were trying to say deserted planet.
That's
See,
what I
that's-
originally was thinking that it was going to be.
Yeah, trying to.
But like,
fucking-
but then I was like, no, it doesn't say deserted, so it must be desert. Yeah, I'm thinking it wrong, and then I noticed planet, and then I'm like, no, I'm just wrong.
okay, well, let's. I mean,
oh
what
no,
desert planet would
desert
be the
planet.
shittiest?
They all sound pretty great to me. The fruitcake planet. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. The fruitcake planet.
Hold on. Does Fruitcake Planet have nuts or not? And does that make it better or worse?
Yeah, that's what she said.
It's gonna be a fucking day, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Fucking sassy molassy people over here. Okay,
Also, maybe a gummy worm planet, because that would be really sticky.
But
Nah, gummies are pretty good.
I've never
know,
had a
as far as
sticky
taste.
gummy worm.
Yeah, me
but
neither. Like I just
have you
assume
had
that
to
they're gummy bears. Like they're just
because you
gonna
don't hold on to them for long. If you had to walk on that, you think that would turn
I mean,
out
there's an obvious answer to this, and the obvious answer is the candy corn planet. Like that, like fuck that place. Like if there was ever
I
a
love
candidate
that.
planet to be wiped out by the Death Star, I vote the candy corn planet.
I mean,
yeah, I don't.
Why is there a bad rap for candy corn? Candy corn's good. I like
Ugh.
candy corn.
I like candy corn too.
It's not
But it
bad.
is
It's
it
bad,
is
but
it
it's
is
not
seen as like
favorite.
the least, because I guess as kids you don't really go to those candies, so everybody just kind of has this innate reaction to candy corn, but it's really not that bad.
Oh my You'd god! have to pay me to eat it, otherwise it can go fuck itself. Have you guys heard the Lewis Black sketch on candy corn?
No.
Yes, yes, I
It's
have.
one of the. It's an older one, but yeah,
Candy
pretty
corn
much
from
saying-
1914.
yeah. All the candy corn now is the same candy corn that's been around from 1914, and every year after Halloween, the little candy
The candy gnomes.
Whatever.
Candy
candy
corn
gnomes
gnomes.
come and collect all the candy corn and collect it so that you can get it again next year. And he's like, it's shit. It doesn't taste like corn, and it doesn't taste like candy.
I guess. Okay.
I don't know. It's a 10-minute candy corn.
I feel
rant. It's
personally
pretty
attacked, and I would like for you to not tell me any more about this.
Listen, if it makes you feel any better, I appreciate candy corn, and I actually have some candy corn here because I bought them, after Halloween ended.
Yeah. See,
Are you saving it for next year?
It said it expired in 1927, but I'm not really sure if that's accurate.
That makes sense that you would have candy expired. Was it handed down through generations of your family?
No, I think the gnomes took it
You
and
bought
then
it new
resold
off
it
the
again the
shelf?
next year.
New off the shelf stale candy.
Nailed it.
Well, that's the thing about candy corn; it doesn't go stale. It tastes exactly
Yeah.
the same all the time.
Okay, so I'm looking at this question, and I guess my thought is, what other than
And
the
you
obvious,
name more than one.
other than the obvious, what is the shittiest part of a desert planet?
Lack of water.
Like I don't have like a big, like, other than the Star Wars desert planets, I don't have a lot of frame of reference. And
Yeah,
it
I
seems
only
like
have-
those people still had good lives that lived on those planets, other than Rey on Jakku.
Well, there's Arrakis from Dune, which is another obvious one, just
Okay.
because of
I mean, that's
new movies are that making it popular again.
and that's a shitty planet, but it's popular because it has a resource everybody wants.
But in Warhammer 40K, I used to play an Imperial Guard regiment that was from a desert planet that I cannot remember what it was called. But like every planet in that universe is extremely shitty because it's one of the grim dark genres of sci-fi. And there's demons at the gate. So that would probably be my answer. I just forget what it was called.
So
I don't
is
know.
Oh,
It's
no, go
just
for it.
the people who live on the desert planets don't seem to have too bad lives because they adapt. Whereas, as a visitor, it would obviously suck.
So would you move there going like, hey,
Oh, hell no.
in like 3 generations, we'll have it pretty good here. We'll know how to make sand burgers and fish for sandfish.
Sandburgers.
And and grow sand kale and live our sand lives.
Right.
Yep.
Get some real work on those sand angels.
What about yeah, exactly. I mean, the good thing about a sand angel is that it'll be gone faster than you made it.
You could dig holes forever.
Wait, did you say dick holes? You can
Dig
dig
holes?
forever. You can dick hole forever.
Yeah, well, not me. If you want to be, it's up to you.
Maybe a better, more general question would be what's the worst imaginary place? Whether it's different planet or just in some book or movie or whatever, not necessarily desert.
I was gonna say I remember because I was watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and one of the characters gets stuck on this planet in space completely alone for months, years, something like that. Everything's distorted on the planet, so screws with her psyche in a sense. If I remember correctly, it was something of that nature. That seems like it would be you're just alone on a planet. There's no other that would freak me the hell out a little bit.
But now here's the thing: on a sci-fi planet, is it the same kind of issues you have when you go into a desert here? Super hot during the day, super cold at night, not a lot of water, not a lot of food, or is it this planet's just 99% desert, but it also has no food scarcity, no water scarcity?
As long as you have the
Because-
necessary ingredients for survival, I mean, in theory, it wouldn't really be so bad because you can stay out of the sun. You can, get around half of it.
Yeah.
Eaten by
But
a
if the planet has
sandworm.
nothing for you to eat, nowhere for you to get sheltered, that becomes a lot more difficult.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: would you rather be stuck on a desert world like Jakku, or everything I do is gonna be Star Wars referenced, or would you rather be stuck in Kevin Costner's Waterworld? Which is worse? Because I would rather be stuck on Jakku than deal with any of the people that lived in the world of Waterworld.
Well, I guess.
Or another good one would be Mad Max.
True.
So I guess my
Yeah,
issue is
anything
No.
post-apocalyptic is automatically.
so my issue
What's
with
your
like
issue,
the Star
Alex?
Wars universe is they don't really do a good job thinking about the true logical consequences of a desert planet like Arrakis and Dune. Water is really, really terrifyingly scarce. And like that is a
Mhm.
central component about the world building. Like in Star Wars, they have like moisture evaporators and other things that artificially get around the idea of water scarcity. They don't think too hard about what it means to have to import all your food from other planets and how that might be damaging to your local economy if you don't provide some sort of like important resource to the rest of the world. Honestly, I don't understand how like if you write a true like sci-fi story, not sci-fi fantasy, I don't know why like Jabba the Hutt would pick Tatooine other than it's isolated as like home for his criminal underworld. Like you'd want to be on like Nar Shaddaa
So
or
there,
like something like
there
that.
is actual reasons for that, but it requires reading into supplement materials. Picks those planets specifically because they're in the outer rim and there is no imperial control on those planets, and its pure location in the galaxy makes it an easy route for people to hit if they needed stuff from him. So it's strategically placed in the outer rim.
Nerds.
Listen,
What
I
about
actually I
better
did
outer
play
rim
a Star
planets?
Wars
outer rim
related
planets that are not desert planets.
but they do think of, well, no, because those are usually inhabited by wealthy people or wealthy civilizations. Or
Well, fundamental
whatever.
problem
There's
is
other people
Naboo is
on
near
those.
Tatooine, so like I don't get it.
I'm just saying that the nicer planets are where there's going to be a better lifestyle, so you're not going to see too much of the underworld kind of coming into play there. That's why they're on the desert worlds, because there's nobody on them.
Okay, so then I guess the question is it shittier to live on a world that is all desert or a world that's all water based on the fact of what is provided? Like,
Well, and then there's
Is
also
the water
just
planet
you
all
know,
salt water?
well, I mean,
alternate-
I'm referencing Waterworld, so
There's also alternate worlds, like in Stranger Things. They had the what they call it. Did they call it the downside?
upside down,
The upside down.
the
Yeah, upside
downside. I think that's a football movie, isn't it?
I think yeah,
The
but I think
Upside?
that's a Sandra Bullock movie.
Woo! Yeah, the upside down, where it's just all monsters and
Yeah,
rays.
all
crap.
fright, no play.
Yeah.
It's Johnny a sad boy.
I don't know. When the question came up, the first thing I thought of was, is it Silent Hill, where they're in that town and the ash is falling from the
Yeah.
sky?
Yeah,
Silent
That was
Hill.
pretty grim. But
Okay.
so I was just thinking, not even necessarily leaving Earth, but alternate realities, I guess you could say, or alternate world on Earth.
Gotcha. Okay, well, let's put it this way. So if you had enough money to own a ship so that you could fly to a desert planet or a desert planet, or you had enough money to own like a boat on a water planet, what type of person would you be?
Pirate.
Pirate? You'd just be fucking bitches up.
Yeah.
You'd be what's his name? The guy with the patch over his eye in Waterworld. He's also the bad guy in Speed. Dennis
Hopper.
Dennis Hopper.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's been so long since I've seen any of those.
Yeah,
I watched
don't even
Waterworld
remember
like
it.
2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, it's on.
That's
Hulu.
why it's on his mind. That's the only reason he wants to reference it.
Listen, I mean, I think we watched 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, and 8 episode, like all those Star Wars episodes recently too. So
Yeah, we
I
watched
don't know.
episodes 1 through 3 in like the New Year's because Carrie
Yeah.
had never seen all of them, and after that, I remembered how like much I disliked most of those movies.
Yeah, I had only seen a
what are you talking
bootleg of
about?
2,
Episode
and I had
1
never seen
is
3.
gold.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Only thing good about episode 1 is Darth Maul.
Yes, I like one.
Yeah, and if you watch Clone Wars, there is a continuation of the Darth Maul storyline because
Yeah.
he doesn't die then. So,
Yeah.
and I love that storyline so much. Those episodes were so good.
I still have to watch.
Yeah, I definitely need to see those. We started watching that and haven't finished it.
Yeah.
Lack of commitment.
So, Alex, you probably have the most, I would say, between you and Steve, really, probably have the most information on like sci-fi, Star Wars specific desert city, like desert planets. What are things that we would need to know that would make that, like, what would make them the shittiest? Because, like, I don't even know how to rank this because I really only know the ones that are like super prevalent because I've only read one or two of like the actual books
I mean,
that have come out about it.
like
so.
water scarcity is an issue. An issue would be like local crime presence, because desert planets seem to be popular places for criminal organizations to have headquarters. You also have to wonder to what extent some Jedi place their kid, because you never know when the bad guys are going to show up to like prop that person up and take them back. I don't know. That's all I got. Sorry.
I mean, they don't really discuss very many like desert planets. I'm pretty sure there's only like really 4 big ones that they really talk about for the most part. I mean, it's just Tatooine, Jakku.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just do between
Florum is one.
Let's go between Tatooine and Jakku, or Jakku, however you want to pronounce it. Because I just found this cool thing called Wookieepedia, which I've never seen before.
That is a thing. Yeah, so Wookieepedia is kind of like fan driven, but I'm not 100%.
But I mean, it's got so much information. So like, I'm sitting here reading. I think at this point we've narrowed down. We're going to talk about Star Wars, and we're going to be talking about Tatooine and Jakku. So it's like, so Tatooine is sparsely inhabited. It's circumbinary. I have no idea what that word means.
What was it?
I think it has 2 suns.
Circumbinary. 2 suns.
The 2 suns. 2 suns.
So just in case being a desert planet wasn't bad enough, now you got 2 fucking suns to avoid from skinking.
With very little nighttime.
Yeah, so it says part of the binary system, the planet was oppressed by scorching suns, resulting in the world lacking the necessary surface water to sustain large populations. As a result, many residents of the planet instead drew water from the atmosphere via moisture farms, which goes back to what you were saying, Alex, about like how they solved.
But where does that moisture come from? Like, even in Dune, like, Herbert's smart enough to be like, well, if it's a desert planet, there's probably, like, no moisture. Otherwise, it would come down in the form of rain and create a water cycle. So even he goes to lengths to say, like, the sky is, like, a different color, like a deep blue, because there's, like, zero moisture in it. So, again.
Arrakis also used to be a planet with plenty of water, and then the sandworms were introduced to create spice for navigation.
Basically, for this, they're saying like the population explosion that happened there was only because someone found something valuable in a mining situation, and that allowed them to like go bring people there and create that shitty situation for those people. Because then they basically like mined it, and then once they got everything they needed, they left. Yeah, so it says finding the ore to have unwanted metallurgic properties, mining firms left the planet en masse, leaving behind valuable equipment, most notably sand crawlers, which are later used by the Jawa population. The Hutt clan also maintained a presence. It gained notice of the Empire during the Galactic Civil War when an escape pod carried 2 droids in possession of top secret information, launched from the starship Tantive 4, and landed on the sandy Outer Rim world. It would be cool to have like a Tatooine drink called the Sandy Outer Rim. And it would be like, I don't know, it would be like a cocktail.
Salty rim. A salt rim drink.
The Sandy Outer Rim job.
I'd try it.
It has 3 moons. Long ago, Tatooine was covered in oceans and rainforests, but for unknown reasons, it became a hot desert world. Okay, cool. So let's look at Jakku. So that one, basically, anybody that's living there or was brought there had a shitty environment bestowed upon them when rich capitalist people decided it wasn't worth farming anymore or mining anymore.
I feel like Jakku might be a little more interesting.
And technically, Jakku is an isolated planet within the Jakku system, within the western reaches of the galaxy's inner rim. There's 3 main settlements and a trading post. And the outpost was the only like major settlement considered an actual like city, which is the Nema outpost, and was guarded by the humorless Constable Zuvio. Who cares if he's humorless?
It is a title thing. It's a lot of the Outer Rim and some of like the most notable people in the realm have kind of additional titles to their name. Almost like they're talked about in like legend or mythos. To the people of the universe. So like,
gotcha.
I think Jabba the Hutt had a title too.
The Hutt.
It could be. To be honest with you, I don't remember, but
kidding.
I thought he had a different title.
So Jakku became like a well-known planet because it became a jumping off point for warships heading into like the galactic unknown regions for the Galactic Civil War, or at least that's what this says. I'm sure some angry fucking Star Wars nerd will listen to this and yell at me and correct me. So thank you for that in advance.
Oh, I'm sure we're gonna get so corrected by people who know even more.
Yeah, we're
From the
not
rest of us,
experts.
too.
We're just having fun, and we like
Yes.
talking to each other.
And it's
so
mostly just stuff that
fuck
we've kind of
off.
heard in other conversations with other people. So like, don't be mad at us.
Or be mad.
We'll learn.
Go ahead and be mad.
Yeah, so I guess the question is like between Tatooine and Jakku, Tatooine seems more like a forgotten people. So like if you went to that desert, you were probably going to be left there for the rest of your life. Whereas Jakku was like populated and there was some mining and it did become an outpost for trading. I mean, either way, you were brought there by a capitalist who's trying to make money off of you, and then they left you there. So I think the shittier thing is how you get there versus the actual planet itself. Like the harsh environment's the harsh environment. You know that immediately once you get onto the planet.
You
Yeah.
have a solution.
It's
at
really
least
the
at hand.
situation in which you put yourself there is the
Yeah.
shittiest, I think. Like for I'm sorry, I don't remember the name or at least how to pronounce it correctly. For Dune, what's the name of the planet?
Arrakis.
Like, how did they get there? Like, how did those people in that planet get there?
They were
Because I think that's how we could, I guess, across the different sci-fi genres.
yeah.
Like,
If I
I guess that's how
remember,
we can.
if I remember right, the Fremen got there. They were like religious pilgrims, and then
Okay.
got to Arrakis.
I mean, the thing about the Dune universe, it's like so far in the future, and the past in the Dune universe is so far in their relative past. It's kind of like us talking about people before ancient Sumeria. There are legends, but like, I don't know. I guess I'm not the biggest Dune expert, but like, it's kind of different in the sense that like Dune is like 20,000 years in our future, and we're asking questions about like 15,000
Yeah,
years
but
in
that's,
their past.
That's from the Dune Encyclopedia.
All right, in that case, I'll take that as canon.
I guess I might have
I'll shut
certain
up.
aspects of it not completely right, but I believe they were religious pilgrims that ended up staying on
Mhm.
Arrakis. Like I said, Arrakis used to have plenty of water, and then the sandworms were introduced by some, I forget. I think even in the encyclopedia, they don't give a good answer for that.
Now, are these the same sandworms that we see in just coming full circle that we see in Beetlejuice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Similar concept, actually.
So could we say
That's the
that
funny thing.
Beetlejuice is like even further in the past from what maybe that becomes modern day Arrakis for where the Dune movie picks up.
That those
Beetlejuice.
things were in our
Beetlejuice.
past, and now
Beetlejuice.
he's ended up on Earth. Earth is his next target.
Yeah, maybe that's what the underworld is. Maybe the underworld is Arrakis, which would make Arrakis pretty shitty.
True story.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, I'm dead, and now I'm going to spend the rest of my life searching for water. If you believe in an
I mean, to be
afterlife.
fair, Arrakis is kind of described as pretty barren and awful. Like, if the sandworms don't get you, the Fremen will. And honestly, like, if you run into any, like, Harkonnen stooges, they'll probably just kill you.
Yeah,
for
I
fun,
feel like-
so.
I feel like I'm missing a lot. I never watched the original Dune, and I don't know anything you're talking about. Like, I feel like you're all just making up words on me right now. The Fremen.
The Fremen are the
Oh, we haven't even talked
Yeah,
about
I
like
actually
the
didn't
Catholic
watch the
Orange
original Dune
Bible.
either.
desert people of
Yeah.
the planet.
Kind of the closest you can find to natives.
Yeah, and the Harkonnens are one of the ruling families of the galaxy.
The ones that come in and stir shit up for
They're the evil guys.
the main character's family that comes in. They're kind of the
The
back
Atreides.
Okay.
the back family that it's a lot of interstellar politics and
It's like Game of Thrones, but in space.
yeah.
Gotcha. So basically,
Yeah.
again, going back to what I said, it's not the planet's fault that it's the shittiest.
Yeah. Because
I think we can all agree on that.
the main family didn't really want to get put there, but they got he was a duke, so they got told to go there. and it was a political move because that other family, the Harkonnens, they were there already, and they told the Harkonnens to leave and told the Atreides to go there.
Basically, the Emperor wanted to get rid of a potential rival family, and then made a pact with the Harkonnens to trap the Atreides family. And
yeah, so
there
you kind of pit
Dune in a
the
nutshell.
two families against each other, like, oh, we're gonna make you leave, and then bring this other family in here, so you guys hate each other.
Gotcha. Okay. I still don't understand anything you're saying. I should probably watch the movie.
Let's just say Harkonnen would be the Lannisters, and Atreides would be the
All right.
Starks.
I mean,
There
It's
you
like
go.
it's like the Romeo and Juliet
Plus
of
minus
sci-fi
a little
is what you're saying.
differences.
It seems that way, right? Like two families, one house.
so the Children of Dune miniseries that came out in the 2000s, that was really the first thing that James McAvoy went into. He's the main character in that.
Okay, what's it called?
Children of Dune.
Okay.
It's based on the second and third
Yeah.
Dune books of the original series. Dune Messiah
Gotcha.
and
So
Children
how do
of
you
Dune.
even get to the point? Oh, so you've read the book series?
Yeah.
I didn't. I just saw the miniseries.
I've read the original series and part of the prequels a while ago.
Oh, I gotcha.
If you want
Yeah,
to
I
see
just,
some
you know,
god
it
awful
didn't even
effects and
mean- I
fighting
didn't even
scenes, check out the
understand-
first sci-fi miniseries.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't understand how big of a thing Dune was. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel like it was as big of a world as what it seems like it has been for most people.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's the original 5 books, I think, and then they have his son and another sci-fi author, Kevin J. Anderson, wrote a lot of prequel books that go
Okay.
further back in the history of the universe. Yeah, it's I mean, you can spend an entire year reading all those books.
Gotcha. It's kind of like reading Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time series.
Yeah.
There's like 16 books to that series.
Yeah, that's one I never got into because when I was working at the bookstore, he took so long to put books out, and there's so many of them, like you said. I think he
Yeah,
finally.
I mean, not he finished the series finally, but now if you haven't watched it on Amazon Prime, fantastic.
Really?
Highly recommend it. They're 5 episodes in. It's really well done. It moves a little bit faster than the book does, but it doesn't. It's not like, so I read all of the books for Game of Thrones. It wasn't like Game of Thrones where they just like cut shit out and threw it out the window.
Yeah.
It was more of they just found a more fast-paced way to get to the action. You know, the action of the book or the plot of the book.
I mean, if we're gonna talk about the desert world, are we gonna talk about the best worlds? I guess best fictional worlds.
I
that
mean,
you'd want
I
to
guess what
actually
I would
live on?
say is there are no best worlds.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
how long can you live inside of a sandworm?
Yeah. I mean, how much can a sandworm really, like, how can it feed families? Is it edible?
I don't know if you'd want to eat it or not.
I mean,
Maybe
but
you
if
got
it-
desperate.
I guess.
I mean, it
don't
depends.
know.
I mean, if you can clean it.
Listen, you keep saying sandworms, and I am only picturing the sandworms for Beetlejuice, so that's what I picture.
Yeah,
Like, that's what I'm seeing.
they're like a giant.
Yeah, like they will eat your ship like it's a potato chip.
Eat your ship like a potato chip. I kind of love that alliteration.
Yeah, it didn't come out of my mouth very well, but you know.
yeah, but I mean, the way to think about it is like the scale is not right, but like a sandworm is closer to being as big as a Star Destroyer than it is to like the Tantive 4 or Tantive,
Yeah.
whatever Princess Leia's ship is. Like,
Okay, so how do
it's
you
freaking huge.
would it be like when you're catfishing, you got to go noodling for these sandworms in order to like catch them?
Kind of. You
Also,
have to
how
use a
big is this
thumper,
fucking
right?
planet?
Isn't that it?
You know, how many worms are on this planet? 3?
Did they ever
Because-
specify a lot? I think.
Well, there's
Okay, so what you're saying is that this is just a glob of sand that's held together mostly by a ball of sandworms.
it was enough sandworms to convert the planet to having oceans to not having any oceans.
Gotcha. Because it basically turned the entirety of the planet into a big mushy ball of sand.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Now I don't have to see the movie. I know what it's about. Dune is about the sandworms, and that's it.
It's a mud ball full of worms.
Dune is about a rapidly changing environment that is caused by neglect and over manufacturing and use of the planet's goods and resources. Sounds like a similar story to other things. I think we beat that horse down pretty well.
Yep.
I love you all, and I will talk to you later.
Likewise.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
So-
Hey, Jimmy.
Bye, Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy.
Thanks for listening to Hey Jimmy. Big shout out to Anthony Morantz for our voiceover, Skane Music for creating our intro, and Sergio Duarte for creating our cover. All artists can be found on the freelance platform Fiverr. You can catch Hey Jimmy every week on all major streaming platforms.